Hey, hello everyone. It's Brian, Bearable Traders here, Sunday, October 11th. And to all our Canadian members, hope you're having a good Thanksgiving Day weekend. Thanksgiving Day here in Canada, or at least it is tomorrow. So, going to make this kind of short because I got family coming over, small bubble, and we're going to be doing Thanksgiving Day soon here. So, just throw this out here quickly, but we've got earnings seasons kicking off next week, as most of you probably know. Got JPM, obviously Bank of America, Citi, Goldman Sachs, Wells Fargo, all kicking things off next week. Various times, around 13th and 14th mostly, and of course we've got Delta Airlines, one of the airlines, and as well as J&J. So it should be an interesting start to the earnings season as we get going here. Let's take a look at it quickly at the stock futures, kind of what I suspected after a pretty decent week. Kind of looking pretty flat right now on the open. NASDAQ looks like looks like it's going to open just slightly in the green, but a lot can happen between now and 9:30 this morning or tomorrow morning, obviously. We've got oil down again. Oil energy is just looking like it's going to continue its trend lower. Gold had a really nice day on gold and silver had a really nice day Friday, so you're going to talk about that in a few minutes. Let's just see what the US dollar is doing here. Kind of flat right now, so not much going on in the currency markets. Let's kick things off with the transports, as we always like to do here. You can see here we had another up day on Friday, bit of an indecision day Friday, same with Thursday. Let's see what the weekly looks like. We had an up week, obviously breakout week. We had this point of resistance here, and you can see here we kind of struggled around there, but Friday really nice clean breakout on the week, and just as I mentioned earlier in the week, looked like the transports were actually going to break higher. Didn't really do it on volume, but volume wasn't bad, but it wasn't we didn't do it on volume, so maybe a little bit of a lack of institutional buying there. But again, RSI is still looking like it's heading higher, but getting close to overbought. Let's take a look at the Dow. Again, the Dow kind of looks like on the day, looks like the transports a little bit, average type volume, MACD, everything's, all the indexes are still trending higher here. On the week, obviously, we're heading back up to this prior level of resistance, but we are up 3.25% roughly on the week. Again, stochastics turning up, RSI still heading higher, so we may just continue to break out. Of course, this daily high, or this all-time high, 29,100 roughly, not very far away from it, and we could be going there prior to the election. We'll see. The Qs actually broke out on Friday after sort of consolidating and looking like it was making a bit of an ascending triangle here. You can see that nice ascending trend line underneath those candles, and a sort of a area of resistance that was here, and now we did a bit of a breakout, so we'll see if we get a continuation move. Again, volume not really great on a daily basis, a little bit light. Stochastics, RSI, all still looking like they're going higher here on the week. Again, a nice little move here and breaking out again. On the week, though, just really terrible on the not liking the volume here. Again, showing a sort of a lack of I would say conviction on maybe some of the funds, but we're still moving higher as it stands. And the SPY again continues to move higher here. Got a bit of a ways to go to the all-time high, but look like we're inching back there. Again, up almost 4% on the week, a little bit lighter volume, which again, same comment. RSI turning back up, stochastics turning back up, so I expect we'll see another positive week next week. The IWM, nice breakout here on the daily. We did pull back from the highs. Stochastics really in the overbought area after having a nice run the whole week there. I think we were up the most on the IWM, which I kind of flagged last week as being the index that looked the best. And you can see here we're up over almost 6.5% on the week, which was a pretty darn good move on better than average volume when you look at the last month or so. So again, IWM looking like it might want to test these highs here. We're not very far from it. So again, IWM small caps, maybe a bit more of a safety trade, or not a safety trade, a recovery trade here. And you can see what's happened. We talked about this Wednesday, how we had this breakout on yields. Value of the bonds started going down as the yields went up. What does this tell you? I think it just basically tells you maybe there's a little bit of nervousness around the election and what's going to happen. So investors are looking for more of a yield on the U.S. Treasuries as we get into maybe a bit more risky time. We'll see what happens there, but it does look like we're maybe due for a little bit of a pullback here. Stochastics still pretty strong. RSI maybe double bottoming. So it's going to be interesting to see where we go from here. Really can't get a read on that one way or another, but you can see here on the week we really just gapped out and pretty stayed in a pretty narrow trading range there. RSI stochastics well in the positive area. RSI heading up. So I don't know. We'll see what happens there. The dollar just, and I think this is one of the reasons gold and silver really took off on Friday, was the dollar just took a whooping, as they say. You can see here's an area of support, and we may go back down and test that area, but you can see here stochastics declining. Any rallies, when the stochastics are looking like this below 50, any rallies tend to get sold. RSI turning down, so it looks like the dollar may continue to weaken here. As I said, there's some pretty significant support around 25 on UUP, but yeah, dollar again sort of reflecting maybe a bit of a negative outlook short term for US, given the election coming up, and the possible maybe confusion about who's won the day after the November 3rd results come in. So again, we'll see how the things work out here as we get closer to that date. So let's take a quick look at some of the stocks ahead on scan here. We can see, oil did have a nice little bounce here. But again, stochastics below 50, rallies tend to get sold. So, and oil is looking like it's going lower, so we may end up coming lower again here. Maybe we'll watch for a double bottom. This is Apache, or you can play Oxy. There's another proxy to oil and the energy trade. Ballard Power is again one of these hydrogen plays. It's been in the hydrogen business for a very long time. And you can see here maybe looking on the verge of breaking out if it can close above 19. Volume a little bit light on this, but stochastics still looking strong and RSI heading up. So keep an eye on Ballard for 19. Gold, I took a position in on Friday, mentioned that in the room, and holding it over the weekend here. It's looking like it is breaking out from this level of prior resistance. Areas of support here, so broke down below that, came up, became resistance, and now we broke out very cleanly and with strength on Friday with volume. So liking the gold trade. Maybe we're going to come back up here if we get through this moving average. Maybe looking at around 42 and a half, 43, somewhere in that range. Take some profits, but all the indicators looking pretty good right now. JIGM. I'm just looking. We're watching that one. I picked this one up as because the CEO has been buying shares, a lot of them, and I don't know what's going on there. This is kind of a cloud play, but I might be taking a position in this. The risk to reward should be pretty decent if we can, use a stop around sort of, I would say even 270. We get in around 285, 89, 290, and then maybe we get a nice pop up here, even 350 if we get some news. So I'm not really sure why the obviously why the CEO is buying, but it's always a good indication. Someone in the know knows something, possibly. Um, anyway, this is another one that came up as a pretty significant amount of buying, inside buying. It hasn't got a lot of history on it, I think, but again, something just going to keep an eye on. Looks like MACD is starting to cross here. RSI is starting to come back up, so maybe we'll get some news on that one that'll pop it. MDT was another one that came out, had some news and some insider buying. Volume was light on Friday as an inside day, so maybe worth watching. Stochastics, MACD are all looking good. ONCR, again, one that doesn't have a lot of, it's a pretty new IPO. Again, it seems to be keeps getting sold off, but these last 2 days it's finished. It's sold off, but it's finished higher than the previous day close. So these hollow fill candlesticks. So maybe this thing will start to move up again. Some insider buying on that one as well. Oxy, same comment as Apache. Maybe looking for a 10 price for bottoming action. Maybe some more bottoming action to go in there. And if we get oil moving, silver, same comment as gold. Nice move on Friday. Expect it to go higher. Square just keeps breaking out here. PayPal, same comment. Again, light volume, like a lot of these things, but it just keeps grinding higher here. And oil again down on Friday and looking like it's opening lower now. Quick look at the candles at the glance here on the sectors just before we sign off. Again, discretionary just continues to break out here. Communications struggling, but technology did end up breaking out as we talked about with the Qs. Same sort of chart pattern. Bit of indecision candles on Friday, both the industrials and materials. Energy a down day. I expect more down day tomorrow. Monday, I should say. Yeah. Healthcare looking nice and strong. And utilities has just had a rip and run. It's due for a pullback, but yeah, it's been on fire right from end of September. Again, sort of a safety trade on the utilities. Okay, everybody. Well, I guess that's a wrap. So again, I would say summary looks like we're going to continue maybe to grind higher. We're just going to continue to climb this wall of worry, if you want to call it that, with the election coming up and maybe some volatility that might be happening around early November. But we just keep wanting to grind higher. So let's see how things go this week. But I expect most of the indexes to be higher again when we review this next weekend. So that's it. This is my book on Amazon, How to Swing Trade, if you haven't checked it out yet. And we'll look forward to seeing you pre-market show live on YouTube tomorrow morning with Norm and Carlos kicking things off, pre-market show, and then trading at the open at 9:30. Cheers, everybody. Have a good rest of the weekend. Canadians have a good and happy, safe Thanksgiving. Bye for now.